Everybody, it's Rose and Kaylee,
Hi.
Pamper Chef. We wanted to go live today. Kaylee needs to do some chop for her birds, so she asked me to help her with some of the different tools. So I'm gonna let Kaylee talk about that for just a moment, and then we're gonna get started. Okay?
So I decided to do green today for St. Patty's Day. Generally speaking, we want to have a variety of different colors, tastes, textures, sizes. My birds are just going to get different shades of green today, and that's fine. So we've got a few different things here. We've got kale and spinach as a base. It's a really solid base for your chop because it's full of vitamins and minerals that are going to really help boost your bird's immune system without too much worry about anything else. We've also got some asparagus here, which again, really great for your vitamins, your minerals, your folate, all of that good stuff. But it is a natural diuretic, so you do want to worry about that and making sure that your birds aren't getting too much and becoming dehydrated. We've got some dandelion greens here, which is really great for detoxifying the liver. Some broccoli, again, going to help out with that vitamin A, which is really important for skin health as well as proper beak and nail growth in our birds. We've got some green pepper here, again, adding in some different textures and sizes, and green pepper is going to be really great in addition to our leafy greens.
Okay.
And it's still going to help boost that immune system. And then for taste, we've got a little apple here. You don't want to go too hard on your fruits just because we concern ourselves with natural sugars, and doing too much of that, you can't have too much of a good thing there. But for the most part, it is full of water, good for hydration. It's good, again, full of vitamins, minerals, boosting that immune system.
Wow.
So,
Okay. So I guess my first question here is, where would you like to start?
we've got three major different types of birds. So I've got finches and a diamond dove who need a bit of a thinner slice. So we're looking for more of our leafy greens in that front. They aren't going to be using their feet as much to eat their chop. They're going to really be focused on their beaks and pulling things apart. Then we step up from there to my parakeets and my bork. Where they're really fighting me on eating chops. So we're essentially going to process that down to be really thin, and I'll garnish it with seed at home to make sure that they're encouraged to eat it. And then up from there, I've got my medium-sized parrots. So I've got 3 green cheek conures, my Quaker, and my 2 Caiques. And so for them, we really want to focus on foot manipulation. So when birds use their feet to eat, it's called podomanipulation, and it is a really important part to their enrichment and making sure that they're experiencing what they would experience in the wild. So we want some bigger chunks for them. And that's kind of what you'll do. I don't have any macaws or cockatoos, but for my friends out there who do, you want essentially that kind of a cut, just bigger. Just so when you're making chop, you got to keep in mind both the beak size, like your Darwin, and all of those little finches in that study, you're keeping that in mind. But for our parrots, we are keeping in mind our foot size as well and what they can hold.
Okay. All right. Well, let's first start with this. This is a nylon knife. Guys, when you have nylon, it's not going to scratch any of your coatings on your pans. But the other really great thing about this is when you're chopping, if you use nylon, your vegetables are going to stay fresh longer. They won't turn that brown color right away. But what's also neat about this, see these little holes? This is our secret weapon right here. This is designed for stripping. So we're going to take a piece of this kale. I'm going to move the rest over here just a little bit. We're going to stick that in there, right inside that hole. Of course, I used the wrong hole. Let's see. And we're just going to strip it down. Quickly, easy. We've got it pulled right. And then it's serrated, so we can chop it here. I know you said you need some of it to be finer, some of it to be a little bit bigger. So let's just get a little bit chopped up here in a different size. So there we go. We've got that chopped real quick and easy. Seconds, right? Mm-hmm. Is that faster than all the hand chopping and all the individual pulling? And oh my gosh, we'll be here for hours, right?
Yeah. And when you have 13 birds like me, who all need a different size, we can't be spending hours on chop every week.
But also you have to prep, right? You definitely have to prep all of that. Mm-hmm. Do you prep on Sunday, Saturday? When do you do your prepping?
Generally, I do Saturday. I just swap work weeks at my clinic this weekend. So we're doing it on Sunday today.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad to spend my Sunday with you. Thanks for coming out. So, guys, here we've got this quickly chopped. I think this is probably about the size for your medium-sized birds. Is that correct?
Yep, we could
Little
definitely
smaller?
use that for the medium-sized birds, but because it's already a leaf, so I can give something like this to my finches and they're gonna have a blast just tearing it apart. I'll probably have to go behind them and make sure they don't try and build a nest out of it. But other than that, they're gonna have a lot of fun with it with these bigger pieces.
Perfect.
And then that's great for my bigger guys too because they can hold it and play with it and do what they need to with it.
Okay.
Now, it's not ideal for my parakeets though because I want them to have something that they can't get around when they go to eat their seed that I'm going to garnish it with. And when I say garnish, I mean like a tiny little pinch of seed right on top so that they have to sit there and pick for it. I'm not giving them a whole giant thing of seed.
So this needs to be smaller, is what you're telling me.
For the parakeets.
For the parakeets.
Yes.
Okay. So, manual food chop processor. Okay, this is right-handed, left-handed. We're gonna put all this in here. We're gonna just put our lid on it. It's got a little grip on the bottom, it's a little rubber ring, so it's not going to fly all over the place. And we're just gonna chop it. Like I said, it's right-handed, left-handed, doesn't matter. Pretty universal. Guys, mine's a little bit older, so the blades might not be as good, but it's definitely getting smaller pieces in here. You know, little teeny tiny. Is that small enough?
That's perfect for what we're looking for those parakeets who are really fighting having their chop. Because when I put the seed on this, it's gonna get stuck, and then they're gonna get a bit of this in with the seed.
Okay.
And in that case, some is better than none, and eventually they'll start to develop a taste for it.
All right, just like babies, you never want to start with the sweet stuff because then they won't eat their vegetables. Did you tell I've had a couple babies? Anyways, I'm going to keep chopping this. Will you go ahead and tell us about our next vegetable so we can keep getting your chop going, okay?
So next we're gonna move on to our spinach. So again, this is like the kale, really strong base for your chop. There's not much to worry about with giving spinach. It's full of vitamins, minerals, and it's really gonna boost our health. So we're just gonna go ahead and take that and take a few slices here and start to chop that up.
Now, does this have to be pulled off of the stem as well?
No.
No.
The stem
So
is
you're
just trying to
chopping
give.
it. Okay. So might I suggest stainless steel kitchen shears? Okay. What's great about these shears is they are very sharp. These can go through bone, guys. So you don't want to trim your nails with them, but they are really great for chopping quickly, and then they come apart into two pieces for easy cleaning. So that would be my quickest suggestion for going through this quickly. And maybe I'm making this too big. If I am, please
Not
tell me.
at all. It's perfect.
Okay.
That's gonna again be great because we've got that leaf material, so perfect for our little finches who are gonna rip this apart. And this is still a great size for my bigger guys who are gonna want to grab this and use their feet to play around with it before they
Great.
eat it and as they rip it apart.
Wonderful. Okay. So look how quick we got that done. Now here's the best part about this. This is one of the things I haven't shown you yet, Kaylee, and I'm so excited to share this with you. This is my brand new prep and store system. So this thing, it has dividers in it. There comes with three bowls. Dividers, we can make it one vegetable, or we can put two vegetables in here when we're prepping. It also has this neat little grate at the top. This grate can sit in the bottom. So if you were putting beans in here, you would want to put the grate down so that the beans aren't sitting in their own juice. Otherwise, we're going to take it, we're going to put that out. It's called the prep and cool system because it also has a tray with ice inserts in it. So if you wanted to use it for like serving at a party and you needed cold underneath it, it's what it's great for. But this, we're just going to set these aside in here.
So we'll be using that for the birdie play date later.
That's right. So look at this. We've got your chop already in the prep and serve system. So it's ready to go for the rest of the week. So we are definitely meal prepping for the birds.
Which is perfect because if you're anything like me, you're working a full-time job to afford the birds. And I would rather be spending more time with them and less time having to chop up vegetables every day. So if I can knock it out quickly in one day and then spend the rest of my time with them, I'm going to do that.
Absolutely. Well, let's keep chopping. What do we got next? Oh, I am gonna interrupt one thing. Can you use this for your rabbit?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so
I have a rabbit too, so we'll set that aside for her. So if you have a multi-species household, you'll find vegetables and ways to chop that'll work for many
Right.
different types of
I'm
animals.
gonna get us a bowl for that. I also have I have chickens, so I give them stuff like this off our garden. So I'll get a bowl. We'll get your bowl set aside for Crowley.
Fantastic. So next we've got broccoli, which, fun fact, is Crowley, my rabbit's favorite type of vegetable. It can cause gas in her though, so we do limit how much we give her, but that's not really a concern with parrots. So with parrots, your broccoli is really important for that vitamin A, like I said. So we're maintaining our skin health, making sure we're not having any problems there, as well as our beak and nail health, and making sure that those continue to grow in properly and look good. So
Okay.
perfect for that. So with birds, they can have this, but it's difficult. So we really want to stick to the head here with all of the fun little bits. And so this is a really great, you can pull pieces off and make sure that you're just putting it in the cage like that so they can pick these little bits off. But what we're gonna do today is chop it up so we can add it into our main food dish here.
Okay. Now I've got a couple different knives here. I have the Pampered Chef. Beautiful, beautiful knives. Don't throw them at anybody like I just did. But these are wonderful. We have a knives. We have our ceramic coated knives. I believe these are probably everything here is safe for the birds.
Years. So
Yeah.
yes, they are safe for the
And
birds.
and of course our paring knives. So I gave you a couple different options here. Which one do you think we want to use today?
Well, you're the expert on cooking, so.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go with our ceramic coated knife. I know that's one of your favorites, as you just said. You've been using it for years. Quick toss that into the Crowley's bowl there. How small does this need to be?
So, because we're focusing mostly on these main parts here, and that's what the birds are going to be picking at, it actually doesn't need to be that small. So, this is going to be perfect for our parakeets, our little guys, our finches, and our bigger guys, our caiques, our quakers, green cheeks, all of that good stuff, because they're going to be picking at all of this. So, we can make it smaller, we can leave it bigger. It's
Oh, okay,
all free game.
great. All right, so let's just get this off the big hunk then, right?
Mhm.
And so do you set it in there like little mini trees for them to pick at?
pretty much.
How fun is that? Everybody likes to play with their food.
Oh, yeah.
Even the birds. All right, so I'm going to take our insert out of the middle piece here. We're going to get this into that prep and cool system here. We're prepped for the next chop.
All right, moving on, we'll go to our asparagus. So this one is again really great for your fiber, your folates, all your vitamins, but it is a natural diuretic. So we do want to concern ourselves with dehydrating our friends here. So we'll just do a little bit for them.
All right, fun fact by me. Kaylee just took that out of our herb saver. Do you know that you're supposed to put asparagus in water? A lot of people don't know that. They buy it in the grocery store. It's standing up in like a shelf system or a stair system usually. That's got water in the bottom of it. Most people don't realize that. So when you bring it at home, you want to either put it in a coffee cup or your herb saver and just get it planted in water because it is a flower. So fun fact on that, the herb system comes with the herb keeper, one of the little shredders, and also our mill here, which I use this a lot. I grow my own herbs out in the garden. So I put my parsley in here and thyme and I just grind it up and that helps me get through that season really quickly. So sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's perfect. So we're gonna do. I'm probably not gonna be giving this to the finches at all, just because of how small they are, and I don't really have a good way to make sure that they don't end up with too much, or a good way to cut this where they could eat it. So this is more gonna be focused on food processing for our parakeets and getting it small enough that they are kind of pushed into eating it, and then leaving those bigger chunks for our bigger birds who are going to be using their feet and playing with it a bit. So,
Right. Awesome.
All right, Cook, Chef Rose.
Now, and let me ask you, is it with the asparagus, is it the same as like when you're serving for people where you cut it down to the woody piece?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to say this one is about here. And that's there. All right, so we're gonna set those aside. And how small do you go on this?
So it's dependent on the beak and the feet again. So we can leave some bigger chunks for our big guys and then do some really small bits for the parakeets.
Okay, and can they eat the tops and the stem?
Yes, they can.
Oh, very cool. I did not know that. I'm learning so much today. Chris, don't tell her I learned all this because then she's going to want me to watch her birds when she goes out of town.
I already have done that to her.
All right. Very good. All right, how's that?
Perfect. So we'll probably put some of this through the food processor, get it a bit smaller for the parakeets. We'll leave some of these bigger chunks to keep that variety for our big guys. So we've got some of the top piece, some of the middle pieces, all of that good stuff for the bigger guys. And then we'll take some of these smaller pieces here, put it through the food processor and get it prepped for our littles.
I'm going to show you our hand slapper.
Ooh.
This hand chopper is one of our oldest products, I swear. I've had this one for years. We used to always say 8 times is a fully chopped piece of item. But the harder you slap it, you know you've had a bad day, the harder you slap it, because the finer it gets. So this is it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Done.
Perfect. And now we have those little bits that are going to be perfect to throw in for our little parakeets who are smaller, so they don't have the foot size to even grab this when they are choosing to eat their chop, or perfect for force feeding them with seed.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, she was a picky eater too. I get it. I actually kind of think it's funny.
Thanks.
We'll just chop that a little smaller. There we go. And here's the best part. Oh, it all comes apart. So you're going to take that out. You're going to take the guard out. You're going to open this up. You're going to make sure there's no science experiments growing in there. Wash it all up. Most of these products can go in the dishwasher. Good vast majority of them are made in the USA. They are
PTFE
Thank
and
you.
PFOA.
Yeah, so we've been looking at those. Most of our products are PTFE and PFOA free.
So those are your things that make up Teflon. So you find that in a lot of your nonstick pans, which people don't realize can be really dangerous for your birds.
I'm going to grab one of my pans for you.
So if you're anything like me, you love a nonstick pan as much as the next guy. However, that risk is just too great to take. So we've found a way in Pampered Chef to avoid that, but still have it be that nonstick and that ease of cooking.
And it's so nice. I don't know if a lot of you, if you watched any cooking shows, I don't know if you can see this real clearly. This has got like a nice webbing pattern to it. That's the nonstick coating. But it, like I said, it's PFOE and I can never say that right.
PTFE and PFOA.
Yeah, I'll get that right by the end of this week. I promise, guys. But yeah, so that's one of our stainless steel executive fry pans, and making sure that everyone knows that our pans are safe for your birds, but also for you. So there you go.
Yeah, Teflon is not great for people either. We just have a bit better of a waste removal system than our bird friends. So.
Right. Yeah.
And the scary thing about Teflon too is you don't know it's there. It's an indetectable fume in the air. So there's no sense, there's no sights, nothing. It's there and you would have no way of knowing, and then suddenly your birds are gone. So that is something that we do really need to be aware of in the kitchen.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, I don't want to mix up the bigger chop with the little chop here, even though I want to get it all into one
Well,
square?
Set aside one square just for the little chop.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my stainless steel scoop here. So stainless steel is safe for birds. It's more durable and easy to clean, but it's
It avoids rust and corrosion.
Thank
so
you.
rust is really dangerous for birds. It's something that pops up a lot in their cages and their dishes. So that's why we like stainless steel so much, is it is, resistant to that.
So we have some new stainless steel scoops. They're great for using in your bird safe kitchen. I use mine for coffee, but we also just came out with a really new great leveling scoop, which would be wonderful for your bird seed. So it's a 2 tablespoon scoop. You scoop it up, you level up. It's got a little thing that closes and it levels it off, and it's a funnel, so you just turn it right over and pour. I have it in my coffee right now, but I'd be happy to show it to you if you want.
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right.
And she means bird pellets, guys.
Oh, what did I say? I said birdseed, didn't I?
You did.
Okay. Pellets, sorry.
But it's a great way to know how much your birds are getting in. That can be important whenever you have to go to the vet and they ask that question, how much do you feed your bird? That's a tough question to answer sometimes when you just grab and go. So this is a great way to know how much it is.
So this is what I was talking about. See the scoop here? It's 2 tablespoons. You're gonna scoop in,
I
close
can.
the lid, turn it over, and it's a funnel. So perfect for coffee, bird pellets.
Hey, we're bougie here.
That's right. I should learn this. I really do want to learn and understand, and that's why we're here, right? We're all learning. We're all getting some different education that you might have already had, might not have already had. I don't know this stuff, so I'm highly appreciative to you teaching it to me. So
Hey, I'm learning more cooking things today, so it's great.
right.
It's a whole team here. So next we'll have our bell pepper. So we're gonna add in another flavor and another texture. And this is a little easier to chunk. So again, we're probably not gonna be giving too much of this to our little finches. We can try maybe a piece or two to see if they can't get some of the good juicy bits. And the seeds are safe for them as well. So you could provide that as well as a fun enrichment for them. But this is gonna be great to process for your littles, or leave a bit chunkier for the bigger parrots to be manipulating and playing with and getting all over your house, of
Now,
course.
how do you normally chop these? Do you chop it into little like chunks or
That's what I
strips
usually
or
do. Start with a strip and then kind of go from there around, and then take the seeds and mix them in somewhere.
Okay. All right. See, as we go, I'm thinking about more and more products that we could be using to do this. But fun fact by me, 4 humps. Do you know that means it's female? 3 humps on the bottom means it's male. Don't know why that makes a difference, but I do believe it has something to do with the sweetness of the pepper itself.
Well, how about that?
Who knew vegetables could be male and female? I also like
And
to
dimorphic.
Yeah, I like to cut mine from the top. Do you know that if you cut out the core, so let's say you weren't going to use your whole pepper, you would want to cut it in half and leave the top intact because that will keep it longer than if you cut out the whole thing. But I'm assuming we're going to use the whole thing today, so I went ahead and cut it from the top. And I've got our scoop loop here, and the scoop loop is kind of a silly little snowman shape. It actually makes really great cookie cutter for snowman. But you just take it, put it into your pepper, scoop it around, and it helps pull out all those insides really quick and easy. I love this for squash. I use this a lot in my canning. We have a big garden every year, and squash seems to really grow well. But see, all of our insides are out really quickly. Again, we want to make your life easier, more efficient. I'm all about elegant and easy and efficient. So
And
there we
this
go.
is going to be a perfect little piece that we could put in for the finches to pick at, because they're going to be able to get all of these little seeds off and have fun with that without having to chop it up further than this. So this is just ready to go already. So we'll set that aside for them.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different types of peppers you can give. I chose bell pepper today, but the spicy peppers are fine as well for your parrots and other birds. They don't have heat receptors like us, so that spice factor that we feel, they don't have to deal with that. And it can have a pain, help with pain for them. So it can be
wow.
really good to add into their diet.
Wow, that's fantastic news. I did not know that. Okay, this is our mandolin prep.
It's the capsaicin.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say it.
I don't know. Mandolin
Yeah.
prep. All right, so here's the deal. It's got a blade cover. We're gonna cover it, then I can unlock it. So this has 3 different settings: slice, julienne, and French fry. So you could put potatoes in here, make your own French fries if you use an air fryer or even in the oven. But today I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to see, let's put that right there. Let's see what happens. So we're going to get our cover on here. What I really like is that your fingers are not getting into the blades here. That's really important. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I had a mandolin prep accident once. Wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty the person that found my finger later either.
Yeah, we get enough of that with our birds. We don't need to take further risks.
Right. Wait, why is this not going on? What am I doing wrong here? See, I am pampered, not perfect. I'll tell you guys, some days I have these issues and some days I don't. Some days I can walk right in, put this bad boy on, and walk away. And I don't know why it's not going in today. There we go. Perfect. Boom. We just needed Kaylee to set her pepper down and act like she was going to take charge.
I'm the lucky charm here. It's fine.
She really is. So I'm a huge gardener. I think I already mentioned that once or twice or 7 times. We do a lot of salsa. We do a lot of canning. So this mandolin prep food processor prep thing has made my life so much easier. So I'm gonna put those in there. It's got the in place.
I love that because we're getting so many different sizes here, which is great because it's that variety. So we really want CHOP to be both helpful to our birds' diets and their health, as well as their mental health, because it's that enrichment that's super important that we forget about frequently with parrots. And so all these different sizes, that's that variety we really need. So
Excellent.
yeah, that's how we can kind of get away with just doing green today for St. Patty's Day.
Here's the other
It's
thing.
perfect.
If you wanted this smaller, and I've done this when I'm chopping for prep for salsa, if I get this and I'm like, oh, these little matchsticks, they need to be a little smaller, I just run them right through again.
Well, great. That covers us for our parakeets then.
Right.
And making sure we have the right size for them.
Right. So you can start with your bigger birds and chop down as you need to.
Yeah. Perfect.
So how cool is that? All right. So now we've chopped so much. We're so prepped for you. You're gonna love this. This is gonna be a great week for you, huh?
Yeah. I don't have to do any work.
Yeah. Except for she doesn't know yet. I don't have a dishwasher, guys. Guess who's doing the dishes?
Crap.
I'm just teasing. I'll help.
I would never leave my mother's house after making a mess in her kitchen and then not help.
Right answer. Right answer. She just made back on the Christmas list. All right, so we're gonna get those in. I'm gonna set that aside.
And then I've got our last little piece of our chop here, so that's that apple. And so the thing about apples that you really need to be worried about is those seeds are not safe for your birds. They do have cyanide in them. So they're also not safe for us. So all those people who like to eat apple cores, stop doing that.
Yeah,
it is not good for you. You are
bad.
risking your life.
Bad. Okay, so we want to core the apple, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So there's a couple different things that I love for my apples. So we also, not only do we garden, we have our little own apple orchard. And I think last year we brought in 300 to 400 apples. This year we're due to bring in more because every year they produce a little bit more and a little bit more. Not to mention the other trees that have been planting and maturing. So I hope Kaylee's ready for this. So we're gonna first start with our apple peel, our apple core. And you just kind of push it in. Slam it down, pull it out.
Perfect.
Cord, right? Really quick and easy. Very nicely done. That was fast.
We've made sure our babies are safe.
That's right. Or the other thing you can use is our apple wedger. And I'm just going to go ahead and cord right over where we would have cored it. Slam it down. Now these blades on bottom are very, very, very sharp. So you usually don't want to pull from the bottom. You want to pull it up from the top. Here's the piece of the cord that we didn't get from the first one. And now we have apples, right? Do we want to make these smaller for your babies?
Both.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So both sizes. We want bigger size. We want to process. Perfect. So this is going to be great for our little parakeets. And then the rest of this, we can just go ahead and chunk for our bigger guys because it's a pretty good thickness for them, but this is just a little big for my guys to hold. It might be okay for your macaws, but again, I don't have one of those yet.
Not yet, she says. Don't worry. I'm not sure about buying birds for Christmas presents, guys. I'm just going to say, like they say bunnies are not for Easter baskets. I'm not sure that birds are for Christmas.
They are not. You should always meet your bird before adopting them. Every bird is a little different, and you want to make sure that that individual is going to fit in correctly with your household.
Well, not only that, but I also think that you need to check in, make sure that you have the proper household. You know, maybe you don't
Absolutely.
have the right space for a macaw because I think they take up a lot of room, right?
Yeah.
And they have a lot of high needs, and you know, they might need
Right.
more medical attention or something. You know, there's just, you want to research fully every animal before you bring it into your home.
Yes.
So, how's this size?
This is perfect for my kayaks and my Quaker. So nice chunks, real
Okay.
quick and easy to make. So now we have 2 different sizes and we've covered the birds. And I can put some of this into for my little finches and they'll have fun picking at it.
Fantastic. All right. So we have to finish up with the rest of your chop for the week. But
Yes.
there was a couple more things we wanted to talk about. So briefly, well, Kaylee and we're going to get chopping away on that. I just want to show you a couple other things that we've talked about in the past. Correct me. I'm going to say it wrong. I always say the bird seed square. What do you call those? Suets.
Suets.
Yes. You can use our snack bar maker to make those suets. It's silica. Get these neat little separators. You can get them in there, so put the lid on, and they're prepped and they're ready to go to make later.
So it'd be similar to AV cakes.
Yeah, okay. I'm learning so many new words. I worked at the hospital for a while, and we call it Coban, the wrap. And Kaylee once said to me, "Mom, what are you doing with vet wrap?" And I said, "Vet wrap? That's Coban." And we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we were talking about the same thing. But it was just really funny. It took us a while to figure it out, but
Yeah. You know.
so now
Yeah,
guess
that's how it
what?
goes.
I call it vet wrap. Okay.
It's fine.
This is the last thing I want to show today, guys. This is the brownie pan. It has been restyled so that it is blue. It is lighter than our old one, so you don't have to adjust your oven temperatures. But you could also do those suet cakes. So we call them suet cakes?
Mhm.
You could do those in the brownie pan, or you could just use it for yourself, make some brownies. I do cornbread. I do all kinds of things. But try this next size.
Ooh.
If you can get it to the smaller size, I think it would work better. So this is also non-stick. So as you're baking, you'll see the sides start to pull away. You know, you don't have to really adjust your oven times, oven temperatures, but you do have to adjust your time a little bit because it doesn't take as long to cook the brownies. But if you use Pampered Chef's brownie mix, it is gluten-free. So a lot of our spices are gluten-free. So we're really being very cognizant of the needs out there for everybody, not just the animal world, but the people world as well. So I wanted to show this because if you were to book a party in April, you can get this pan for free. Just ask me how or ask Kaylee how. We'll get back to you on that. So anyways, that was my only little dip into the business for you guys. I wanted to make sure that your birds are safe. I want to make sure that you guys are safe. Kaylee, is there anything else you want to add in there?
No, I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to go over today and really helping y'all out with making chop a little less daunting. I know it's really scary for people when they first get into this lifestyle, and it really is a lifestyle when you own birds. So yeah, we just really wanted to help out, make sure that you can spend time with your babies, but you're still being cognizant of their food needs and their safety.
And getting it done quickly because nobody wants to spend their whole day off chopping for birds or for themselves. I mean, I feel the same way when it comes to food prep.
Right.
I just want to get it done so that I can go have some fun. So
Right.
with that, we're going to finish up. You guys go have some fun with your birds. Kaylee, we want to get her back to her birds. So talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.